Are you ready? Are you? Good, because I'm here to talk to you about the importance of being ready. But ready for what? Well, ready for life, ready for leadership, ready for whatever it is you want, and whatever unexpected challenges you may face. You see, leadership begins with self-management. You have to learn to lead yourself before you can deliver on the privilege of leading others. That's important, so I'll say it again. You have to learn to lead yourself before you can deliver on the privilege of leading others. I like frameworks. As a recovering bank executive turned leadership coach, I've spent decades working with people and organizations, helping them to navigate things like conflict, change, decision-making, strategic planning. And you know what the first step is in virtually every framework that I use with clients to help develop those capabilities? Prepare. It's the first, and I believe, the most important step, and also the most often overlooked. I just turned 50 last month. One of the ways that many of us prepare for the challenge of everyday life, particularly as we age, is fitness training. And this is certainly an important part of my life today, mostly with longevity in mind. But in my 20s, I was a different kind of a gym rat. I would wake each day at 5 a.m. to get to the gym before starting my morning warrior job on Wall Street. And like many of us, I tended to avoid the most grueling workout in the routine, leg day. The day I'm about to recount for you was one of those dreaded leg days, and I hit them hard. As I hobbled up the stairs from the locker room post-workout, a giant boom shook the building. The entire gym cleared out onto the street, facing the foot of my office building at 2 World Trade Center. It was September 11th, 2001. Amidst the obvious chaos and confusion, I approached the revolving doors of the building where a security guard assured me it was safe to go up. He said there'd been reports that a small Piper jet had hit the other tower and the building's been cleared. I was literally one step from entering the building when the second plane flew overhead straight through my desk on the 80th floor. Sometimes it's the doors you don't walk through in life that define your fate. The sound and vibration defied description. The sonic boom was both a massive explosion and some sort of bizarre implosion all at once. As I attempted to take flight, I collapsed. It's trampled by the panicked crowds. You'd think in an extraordinary circumstance like that you'd find the strength, but my legs just weren't there for me. My thoughts raced. I thought to myself, I can't believe I'm going to die because I worked my legs out this morning. True story. But somehow I found the strength and I bounced up, made my way to safety, certain that I was one of, if not the only, survivor for my company. Yet that day I learned the true, undeniable power and value of preparation. Having been through the first Trade Center bombing in '93, my company took the very real threats to health and safety quite seriously. They contracted to ensure that all staff had an emergency grab-and-go bag in our desks at all times. This kit included things like emergency drinking water, face masks, glow sticks, whistles, and basic first aid. In the investment banking world of chasing almighty dollars and cents, this thoughtful approach to safety sent a very subtle message that human capital was in fact our most precious asset. Fire drills were never taken lightly. On 9/11, after the first plane had struck, while others were still just trying to discern what exactly had happened, and the security guard downstairs was telling me it was safe to go up, my senior management wasted no time enforcing a quick and aggressive evacuation. Ultimately, they didn't stand a chance when the second plane went through our floor just 17 minutes later. They had stayed behind to make sure that everybody had vacated. Now, while my firm lost a tragic total of 24 people that day, we would almost certainly have lost multiples of that if not for the selfless efforts and enforced preparation by top management. As author and top TED speaker Simon Sinek put it, leaders eat last. I remain deeply indebted to their sacrifice. In total, I knew close to 40 people were lost that day from all walks of my life, some of whom were extraordinarily close to me. I still feel those losses very deeply to this day. I was medicated on and off for 2 years and couldn't even begin to share my story in this way for close to 10. This profound experience crystallized something in me. Life is unpredictable and precious. Being ready isn't just about surviving crisis, it's about being prepared to embrace opportunities when they arise. This realization created a carpe diem attitude in me, which led me to seek global assignments. A semester abroad in Italy had sparked a travel bug, and I was now ready to reignite it. To quote St. Augustine, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page." Through work, play, and study, I've had the good fortune to have lived in 6 countries and visited over 60 across all 7 continents. Travel is one of life's truly great teachers. Along the way, I extended my passion for scuba diving in the underwater world, racking up hundreds of dives around the globe from tropical reefs to extreme Arctic environments. In this image here, I'm a few hundred miles from the North Pole, submerged in water 2 degrees below freezing. The only thing keeping it from turning to ice is the salt content. Some people hear about this and wonder a few things. Are you crazy? Are you some sort of masochist? How much does that hurt? How much do you get paid to do that, right? The truth? I pay good money to be here. And in this moment, surrounded by icebergs and water cold enough to kill within minutes, I'm perfectly comfortable. Not because I have some sort of superpowers, but because I'm prepared. I have the right training, skills, experience, and certifications. For me, this is the perfect metaphor for life and leadership development. If you're adequately prepared with the right training, tools, and experience, the challenges you face won't be any different. The proverbial waters may well still be 2 degrees below freezing, but you'll be able to navigate those challenges far more capably and comfortably. This principle extends beyond extreme environments, of course. Research by psychologist Richard Wiseman found that what may look like luck to other people is actually a system of preparation meeting opportunity. Lucky people aren't the beneficiaries of random chance. They've developed specific habits. They notice opportunities. They listen to intuition. They expect good outcomes. This isn't mystical thinking. This is systematic preparation meeting opportunity recognition. When you're prepared, things slow down. You notice and seize moments others miss. In 2014, while working overseas with a European bank, I embraced a volunteer opportunity to develop a coaching and mentoring program for a nonprofit partner in South Africa. This ignited my passion for management skills training, which ultimately led to my current career in leadership development. As John F. Kennedy once said, leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. And today I continue to learn as much as I endeavor to teach. This experience and new professional focus led me to create a shareable system for success, particularly as I emerged from the dark days of COVID. I'd grown depressed, overweight, hypertension, fatty liver disease. I was a mess. So I developed a personal life model to stage my own sustainable comeback. And this is what I've learned through years of experience, from crisis moments to many rewarding and adventurous ones. I've developed discovered at least these 3 fundamental control dials that create what others might observe as luck. A model for leadership, to lead yourself to begin with, and then perhaps for some, to lead others and even organizations. I'd like you to envision these as a virtual control panel with 3 dials that you need to set and recalibrate each and every day, perhaps even several times a day. Whenever I find that I'm not getting what I want out of my life or career, I reflect and understand that one or perhaps all of these dials need to be adjusted. First dial, discipline. Discipline is a choice to show up consistently and put in the work. It's the choice to prepare when others don't see the need, to do the tedious and mundane things that build to big moments or avoid horrific outcomes. Things like scuba training and fire drills. Inspiration is great. It can be powerful. Like anyone who takes this stage, I hope to inspire you here today. But inspiration is fleeting. It's discipline that matters. As sales influencer Alex Hormozi put it, discipline is the shortcut from where you are to where you want to be. The reality? There are no shortcuts in life. Discipline is your best option. Second dial, mindset. Remember what Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Carol Dweck is perhaps the top modern thought leader on the topic of mindset. Her research suggests that our intelligence can be expanded through hard work and dedication. We can learn to overcome obstacles and improve toward challenging goals. Mindset is about resetting, no matter your age. It's the choice to see opportunity in challenge, to stay positive through difficulty, to believe in possibility. When I was building my business after the pandemic, I faced rejection after rejection. And I'd made provisions for an economic slowdown, but none of us had reasonably prepared for the economy coming to a screeching halt overnight the way it did. The survival and ultimate success of my business wasn't skill, it was mindset, the inflappable belief in long-term outcomes. Self-doubt has killed way more dreams than failure ever has. So flex your optimism. You simply must believe. So whether through meditation, mindfulness, time outdoors, or whatever works for you, find your vehicle and get your mindset dialed in. Third dial, resilience. Maya Angelou put it perfectly when she said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." Resilience isn't about avoiding setbacks. It's about growing through them. Consider J.K. Rowling, rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter finally found a home. Or Michael Jordan, rejected from his high school basketball team, right? Steven Spielberg, rejected from film school 3 times. When COVID shut down my travel and diving adventures and decimated my newborn business, I had a choice: retreat or rebuild. I chose to grow through adversity, to become stronger. Resilience is the choice to grow forward, to bounce forward, not just back. To accept failures as expected, as valuable lessons learned. It's the choice to get back up when crisis strikes, even if you had a rough leg day at the gym. You must rise again. So how did I rise again? And how can you when adversity strikes? Well, whether you're facing a sudden catastrophe, like the COVID shutdown that threatened my business, or a slow motion collapse, like the neglect of my mental and physical health, there's only 3 things that you can actually control: discipline, mindset, and resilience. My entire system required a hard reset. I'd completely fallen off the wagon with any sort of fitness routine, both diet and exercise. So I determined to get back into fighting shape. I committed to a consistent and intensive workout plan, immersed myself in a mix of martial arts starting as a middle-aged beginner, and got my nutrition dialed in. I lost around 40 pounds and got my health back on track. I even earned a black belt a year ahead of plan. Meeting deadlines is important, beating them is better. At the same time, I resolved with focus to rebuild my business from the ashes of the pandemic. Through daily and active management of these 3 dials, I was able to orchestrate a successful and dramatic turnaround. This personal and professional comeback during a very short period of extraordinary duress demonstrated to me that this model works and what it can do for anyone. Together, this demonstrates that we can all begin again, each of these new beginnings, if we choose, and determine our own outcomes if we're willing to effectively manage our 3 dials. And then, more recently, there was one last final stress of this model. Sadly, my father passed away last night. And I'd been preparing to engage with all of you here today, never knowing that I would be summoned to be with him and my family at the same time. Be ready for life. These last 2 weeks have called upon all 3 of my dials in ways I'd never experienced before. It's only by virtue of discipline, mindset, and resilience that I'm standing here today, honoring my commitment to you, as well as my love for the man who first inspired me to open new doors in life, just as he passed through his own last one. Thank you for everything, Dad. Happy Father's Day. This talk is for you. In this life, we will all be presented with doors to either walk through or avoid. Some of them may be revolving, others may be one way. And as those doors open and close, you can determine your own fortunes if you maintain discipline in your preparation, mindset in your approach, and resilience in your response. You won't just be gambling on chance, you'll be managing a system that yields success. So as you leave here today, remember, some of the most defining doors in your life may not announce themselves with great fanfare. They'll appear quietly, disguised as ordinary moments. And in those moments, It won't be chance that determines your path. I introduced this 3-dial model as an imagined control panel. And that's because it's all quite literally within your control. Discipline is a choice. Mindset is a choice. Resilience is a choice. And yes, that's right, leadership is a choice. Choose wisely, mind your dials, and be ready. Thank you.